Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us back here at Coinsmart's channel. On the previous video, you got to go through Justin here's background. He's the CEO and co-founder. He shared his past experiences in big tech, some big successes, losing 5,000 Bitcoin, which my heart kind of tore a little bit on that one. But hey, we all made our issues when we first got into crypto. It was really kind of like your superhero origin story, so to speak. But now we're in 2022. How are you holding up so far?
Everything's great. What a new year to begin with. The markets are volatile as ever, and I love that about our space. It makes it very interesting. Every day is different.
True. One day in crypto is like a month in the normal world. Things are always moving fast here, always ahead of the pace. And you guys have released some decent news releases so far, kicking off the year. But before we get into those, I was wondering if we could just have a general overview, general talk of Coinsmart for people who may be new here.
Absolutely. I think it's a great way to dig in. And I think the best way to look at it is we stand for three words in everything that we do, which is making cryptocurrency accessible. So how can we make it least amount of clicks, the least amount of friction, offer the best experience, the best customer support we possibly can to help bring the crypto curious into the market, help educate them, level them up, to be an active ecosystem player in cryptocurrency, where over time, and we'll see some announcements coming out, we offer a whole breadth and suite of new products to allow them to do that all in one single home as a financial institution in the future, right here at Coinsmart, not having to go to different venues to take care of some of the really exciting things they want to get into in the whole crypto market. And the whole idea is today, there's only 1.5% of the entire world, using cryptocurrency in some level or some form. We want to help bring those masses in, help actually see, the S curve of adoption goes like this. It has a steep up and levels up at the top. We haven't even got to the inflection point where we're going upwards yet. Help bring that to everybody. We're still in the first half of the first inning. I'm full of cliches today, but we're here to help make it accessible, help people get to that market and really do it in the easiest way possible. I'll give you one example before we move on how we do that. Different than all other platforms out there, you might have to understand how to pair a coin that you want to buy. If it's not Bitcoin or Ethereum and you want to buy Avalanche or you want to buy X, Y, or Z, doesn't matter where it is, you might have to go from fiat dollars, so sending in a wire or an email transfer for $100, turn that into Bitcoin or one of the others, then buy what you want, and vice versa. That's difficult. So what we've done is in 3 clicks, is called Smart Trade, Smart Trade allows you to go from any fiat or any crypto to any fiat. So the idea is you can say, I want to buy this with that. We do all the transactions in the background at one fee. We show you that fee, so it's right in front of your eyes, and we do all the magic behind the scenes for you. And those are just some of the small ways that we're making this easier for everybody and to achieve what they're looking for in this whole world and this new ecosystem of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, Justin, I would say kudos to you. I've been in the market for a long time, and back in the day when you would be buying a cryptocurrency, there was a lot of treacherous missteps you could take, so to speak. And if you made a mistake on any of those parts, it was all gone forever. There was no customer support back in the day for a lot of these, or even some of the exchanges weren't secure and so on. All things I'm sure you're familiar with, and you seem to be filling a lot of those voids now.
Yeah, well, I think you bring up a good point there, which is customer experience or customer support. And that's something we pride ourselves on here at Coinsmart. The idea that we offer 24/7, 365 omni-channel live support is completely different than the industries around. And, I look for all the people in the crypto ecosystem to really be brought up. High tides raises all ships. And that's what I want. Great for everybody in this industry. But look at some of the epic failures or plunders that have happened in this space. People like Coinbase trying to add live support in. That didn't last very long. You can't go backwards and implement that now on some of these larger exchanges out there. We set this out from day one. We modeled it into our financial projections. We know how we can scale, and we've seen it scale, and we know how we can continue that to infinite numbers in the future and still give the same level of quality service to every individual, whether it's a small question, whether it's a big problem. We're even employing some really cool AI and other technologies to help ease that up and answer people's questions before they know they even have them. So we're really excited to offer that best level support, easy to use, least amount of click service for everybody out there to get used to using Coinsmart.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, definitely, it seems like a new era of exchanges at this point that you're kind of ushering in here. And so I'm curious, you had name dropped Coinbase there. And I'm curious, how would you best compare yourselves to them in terms of what you do better? Now, obviously, they were a big success story in their own right, specifically in the US. You guys are more Canada based, but how would you draw compare and contrasts there?
Well, I think they're one, but if we look at the broad spectrum of everyone out there, what you're seeing most often at other exchanges is they're created for people who are currently already playing in crypto, understand crypto, or part of the ecosystem. So more advanced tools, greater leverage, DeFi platform, NFTs, things that are harder to understand for the everyday individual. And we find that to be a problem because, again, we're looking to have more people come into the ecosystem. So that is where we come in to try and break those down to the easiest, smallest aspects to make them accessible to each and everyone who wants to get access to them. So you'll notice over the next little while, we'll put out some great press releases of new products and services that are as easy as Smart Trade that I talked before to do things like possibly NFTs, or in jurisdictions that we're allowed to do it, lending, pieces along those lines that the everyday individual can come in. And we really have these needs for these great tools on these really awesome exchanges out there. And I really like them and the people behind them. But what we need to do is continue to help the masses. And that's where we're focused on today and every day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not everybody wants to put 5 to 10 hours of research before they can even buy their first coin and so on. So it's really important to improve those user interfaces and the accessibility there. And I guess
Well, sorry to interrupt, but especially like DeFi, everyone's talking about decentralized finance and want to get access to these incredible lending rates or APY rates. But it's a very hard thing to access right now, having to know how to use this wallet to connect to that website. And they charge me X just to connect it. Should I be doing that? I don't know if I want. So if we can, and what we are doing is bringing it down to its simplest form where it's accessible to everybody. And that's the difference. And I keep going back to that because I think it's key to understand that without a centralized exchange being Coinsmart, you can't have all these other awesome opportunities out there. So if we can build the proper environment where they're coming online through us, on-ramping through us, off-ramping through us right now, but providing the larger ecosystem to these new products that they are learning about on their crypto journey, we're doing our job to create that really wholesome, singular approach and one environment for them to access each of these products.
Yeah, good point. I mean, the nurturing and bringing out of new investors is what is going to cause the space as a whole to flourish at the end of the day. And you guys play an interesting world too, because you guys are a hybrid, so to speak. You guys are in the crypto blockchain world. And you guys are also a publicly traded company. So tell us more about that side of the business.
Well, great question. And I think the reality for us is, again, I hate to do it, but I can say accessibility, and it comes down to every aspect. And this is the same way for people who aren't interested in actually getting into the, the water that goes through the pipes. We are the plumbing in the industry. You have to use us, and all those coins and all those dollars flow through what it is that we're doing. So people who aren't, who are a little risk adverse, or individuals who just go, I'd rather do this in my TFSA, or large institutions who can't buy the underlying cryptocurrency assets, we're really creating a play where everybody can get access to this asset class in a way in which is comfortable to them. So the idea is in a regulatory first, and that's everything that we do to make sure that we have the regulatory piece as our underpinning or as our foundation. We now give opportunity for every type of investor with any type of rules and regulations that are behind them and their investment thesis to get into the market. And differently than what exists on the market today, being cryptocurrency mining companies or ETF funds that are out there, which prices are directly correlated to the price of Bitcoin, we're the exact opposite. And while obviously that plays some effect in our growth and new customers coming into the industry, for us, what we just look for is volatility. And this is the most volatile asset class out there, which makes for really good opportunities for investors to come in and trade cryptocurrency themselves, hold it for the long run on the upside, or for those people coming in going, oh, we love Coinsmart because they're focused on the volatile asset class. The more volatile it is, the more money that's being earned from it because more trades are going on. And we actually see the efficacy of the company and the value of the stock growing in the equities market that we can get access to, non-correlated to the direct price of Bitcoin. So I know that's a lot to say, but at the end of the day, we're giving people the opportunity to invest in cryptocurrency in every way that they may be able to get access to and are allowed to do so.
Yeah, yeah, agreed completely. Someone who's into traditional investing in stocks and so on doesn't need to understand the underlying Bitcoin or Ethereum ecosystems to invest in Coinsmart and see your guys' path to revenue. Say it's pretty straightforward there. And I guess another thing it does is it adds a layer of accountability to being a publicly traded company. So in crypto,
Yep.
sometimes that's often lacking.
Well, I think that's a great point. And being someone who was one of the first, if not the first, crypto asset trading platform in Canada to be FinTrack regulated. They said no the first 2 times. Now you have to be, going from a dealer to a marketplace, being one of the only ones. Our FinCEN regulation for OTC that we do in the US, our FIU license out of Estonia. The idea that and going public, these are all pieces to build trust that we're doing things in the right way. We have the right oversight to what's going on in the market, and they can believe in we're the people to do that business with. So everything that we do is to ensure that across the board.
Yeah, wonderful. And I think the last thing I really want to ask you and get out of you for this interview is you did wonderful so far in explaining the ecosystem. And the last thing I want to know is what's the real catalysts or group of catalysts that people should be looking out for from Coinsmart for 2022?
Well, 2022 is going to be a big year. We have a lot on the docket. We did a lot of planning in the end of last year to get us organized and start on the ground running now. We see that happening. We have some really good, and I have to obviously be careful on what I say all the time here, but we have some great announcements coming out, some financials that you'll see, some new hires that are coming to the team, some M&A activity that we're working on, some sponsorships and advertising opportunities that we have that others don't have or haven't had in the past. So we're going to see a lot of that continue to happen as we show some intensive scaling and growth in the company, not only on user and revenue, but also bottom line. So it's very exciting to see what will happen over the next little while.
Awesome, Justin. Well, thank you for joining and thank you everyone for watching. You guys heard the man. There's a lot of exciting things coming. So please continue following us on this journey. Any questions at all, don't be afraid to reach out. We will happily dive into them. Justin, any closing words before we go?
Let the trend be your friend. Let's keep making cryptocurrency accessible, everyone. Thanks for joining today.
Wonderful. Have a wonderful day, everybody.